This is a roguelike deck builder where you work for this paranormal agency fighting weird creatures. Now this game is very interesting but not without issues. The game's main hook is that you actually build your own cards from scratch by mixing different effects together. And there's this tarot system where you pick buffs for yourself, but also have to pick buffs for your enemies at the same time. It's got that Slay the Spire map structure, but the card creation aspect sets it apart. The game does have some problems that we will take a look at in just a moment. Thank you therefore at this point to Electronic Sheep Games for sponsoring this video and for accepting my editorial independence. Before getting into the mechanics, I need to mention the art situation. You see, the game's current visual style doesn't just seem to take inspiration from Mike Mignola's work. It really crosses the line into being way too similar. The character designs, environments, the whole aesthetic looks like it came straight out of Hellboy. The developer has acknowledged this and stated on the very Steam page itself that the entire art direction will be completely changed in future updates. So if you were interested specifically because it looks like Mignola stuff, that probably won't last. And to be honest, it shouldn't, because Mike Mignola is not involved. This is worth knowing before you get attached to how it currently looks. Now, looking at the game's combat system, it uses Act instead of mana. When you start a run, you pick a character and customize your starting deck by choosing what effects go on each card. You've got card templates at different costs, and you decide what each one does. During runs, you collect materials that let you craft entirely new cards by combining effect modifiers you find. If you want a card that damages enemies and heals you, then you can very much build that if you have the right components. The combat plays out pretty normally for the genre. You draw cards, spend Act to play them, and the enemies do the same. There's a bleed mechanic where bleeding enemies take damage when they spend Act, but it feels underwhelming because multiple stacks still only deal 1 damage per turn, and enemies don't usually spend that much Act anyway. After beating elite enemies, you enter the prophecy system. You pick 2 tarot cards, 1 buffs you and 1 buffs your enemy. These are permanent effects for the entire run, so you're constantly making opponents stronger while trying to stay ahead. Some prophecies bless cards in your deck, increase max health, or give armor at combat start. The tarot system has upright and reverse meanings with different effects depending on position, so you're building combinations for yourself while giving enemies the less helpful versions. The enemies drop different resources based on their tier, and you use these to craft cards at shops. The game lets you extract early through extraction points, keeping whatever you have collected. There is one rather substantial and serious problem right now, and that is that the encounter design doesn't account for all deck types. For example, there is a boss requiring simultaneous damage to all enemies, but if you don't have area of effect cards, then the fight becomes literally impossible. You can attack everyone in 1 turn, just not at the same time, and that's not good enough. So getting hard stuck because your deck lacks one specific mechanic feels pretty terrible in a roguelike. The game throws quite a lot of systems at you, and they don't all feel equally balanced. The enemy AI is inconsistent too. Sometimes they are very aggressive, sometimes they just tend to play support cards and heal. So P.R.D.A. has interesting ideas with card crafting and the dual prophecy system, but it's clearly rough around the edges. And this sentence concludes today's video. If your time was respected, a like or comment is very much appreciated.